Hey everybody, Crow here, and this is an unboxing of the Evercade VS Founders Edition. And I need to say that I am actually narrating this video after I filmed it because I actually wound up filming this really late at night. Maybe I'll explain why. And then in the morning now, when I'm looking at it, the audio was just garbage, so I decided to overdub what I had filmed. Yeah, this was actually scheduled to get to me. The estimated delivery date was December 3rd. And I actually got it a day earlier in the kind of in the afternoon, like the early afternoon, like around noontime, in fact. And I was planning on doing this unboxing right after I was done with work. But I ran out to go get dinner, and due to some incidents that occurred, or an incident that occurred, I wound up not getting back home until much later, and I was actually recording this almost at midnight, I think. So now it's the next morning, and the audio was garbage, and I was like half asleep at the time. So I'm just going to kind of narrate over this. Let's skip ahead a little bit. We should be at the point now where I'm actually opening the box. And if we get this little thing out of the way, there is the Evercade VS, and it's facing the wrong way. So I do rotate that around. And yeah, actually what I had done is I peeled the labels off of the shipping box so I'd record it. So here we go. We're going to dump that to the table. We got an overhead view because, I mean, I don't know if it's really the best angle for this, but we'll find out because this is actually the first time I'm watching it as well. All right, so I'm just kind of rotating the box around. I think that is okay, that's the front. I don't know if that's considered the top. That's the thing I was kind of, I was kind of unsure about. It's like, where was the actual top of this thing? And it actually, when I get this thing unwrapped, you'll see it's a little bit more confusing. Because see, there's the side, and you would think that if you look at the side, that would be the front, and then the top would be that. That would be the top, and that's what I assumed. But let me fast forward past the part to where this is getting unwrapped, so just so we can jump to that part. All right, box is unwrapped. So initially I didn't really know how to open it, but then it turns out there's a slip cover over it. So that's the slip cover I'm pulling off of the box. And kind of throw that up there. Okay, let's take a look around the box here. We've got, I think, I couldn't tell if that was the front, because it seems like it's the front. Because if you look on the side there, you can see the way the letters are orientated. So this is the part that really confused me. I was like, okay, where's the thing to open it up? And I was like, where is it? I'm looking all over the box for it. You can see I'm kind of flipping the box around. I was like, oh, there it is. And there we go. I lift it up, and it's like, okay, wait, is that the top of the box? Because look at the lettering on the sides. So that was kind of weird, I thought. It's like, is that supposed to be the front? And let's see, what am I doing here? There we go. And there's the Founders Edition Evercade VS in there. And I'm like, doesn't make any sense. Why would the letters be orientated that way if that's the? I mean, shouldn't that be the top of the box? That that's what was going through my mind while I was doing that. So. Yeah, I just thought that was very odd, and I guess it was like it even extends to the slipcover too. What is really the top? So yeah, we're pulling out the Founders Edition Evercade VS there. We'll get a good look around there. I don't know if we're going to do that now or a little bit later, but yeah, I'm kind of flipping around to give you a good look at there. There's the door opened. Okay, we'll put that aside and pull out the first tray. And the second tray, this is the steelbook that I completely forgot was going to be included in this. And it's kind of an unusual steelbook. It's not like the steelbook you would expect to see like in a Blu-ray or DVD. It's kind of got its own, pattern, I guess. Inside, there were a couple of papers we'll go through, but there was also a keychain of the Evercade controller, the Evercade VS controller, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Getting a good look at that over here. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it in there. Can't imagine I'd actually use that case for anything. Yeah, you can put in 6 Evercade cartridges, but I don't know if I'd actually use that. I'd be afraid of it getting dented and stuff. So in that box was the certificate of authenticity for the Evercade VS Founders Edition. There's nothing on the back. Yeah, double checking that. Then we have these images of the controller and the console itself. So controller CAD and the console CAD. So yeah, that's what was in that. That's the second tray. We're gonna pull that out. And in the third tray here, we get some papers in there, but also some games under there, because this did come with 6 games. So it's instructions on how to use the link cable. There's our quick start guide, and even though it looks like a really thick manual, it's actually only like 9 pages, and then it just keeps repeating in different languages. So that's, that for something coming from Europe, that's to be expected. So there's that. And then this is a poster. So we'll open that up. It's a double-sided poster, if I'm remembering correctly. So, yeah, they have a little bit of trouble opening it. But there's side 1. Family playing they're playing the worst game on the Evercade, actually. Super skid marks. And I didn't even notice that when I looked at it the first time. And then a cool, images of boxes. And then we've got our first 2 Evercade arcade titles. We got I think number 1 is the Technos arcade one, and number 2 is the Data East arcade one. So that's what's in that tray. I'm just looking at that. So then pull out that tray, and underneath is another tray with 2 more games. We've got the 3rd and 4th arcade collections, the Galco arcade one and the Atari arcade one. I still haven't actually opened those up yet, but I'll be doing that probably today. And pulling out that tray, and we got no, actually, it's not the final tray, but another tray with 2 more games, the final 2 games, the Intellivision Collection one and the Bitmap Brothers Collection. Take out that tray, and in that, the final tray here, we have our 2 Founders Edition controllers, which I'm pulling out there. And I was kind of talking about the way it felt. And it doesn't feel like any other controller I've kind of felt before. And in that case, it felt a little bit unusual. The buttons are, the top buttons are, shoulder buttons are significantly different than they are in the handheld. Whether or not it's better or worse remains to be seen. I need to play with it for a little bit first. I will say that I have used the controller a little bit, and it's just... It is different since I'm so used to the handheld, but we'll do a little bit of a comparison later. I know I did. That is a USB to micro USB meant for the power. That is also a USB to micro USB, but that one is a little bit longer, and I believe that's meant for the handheld. If you want to use the handheld as a controller for the VS. That's something I'm going to do in the future. Is I'm gonna try out almost every controller I could get my hands on to see what works and what doesn't work. And as you can see, that is the final tray. So let me actually fast forward a little bit while I'm putting those trays back in. All right, so put the box off to the side. Now we look at the actual console there a little bit more. Did look around. There's the tray open. There's the power button on the side there. It's a toggle switch. It doesn't stay down when it's on, And then we've got the power, the micro USB power, regular size HDMI, and a reset button on the back. There's your bottom, and yeah, there you go. And then I have the controllers there. I'm just kind of putting everything out there for size, I guess. And then for comparison, I did grab the regular Evercade, so you can see it's the console's almost as wide as the Evercade is. That's how small it is, and I knew it was going to be small. I'll show you later where I had set aside a place to be able to put the Evercade VS. But there is the handheld next to one of the controllers. Controller's a little bit smaller. It does feel different. Even the D-pad feels different, and I believe it's at this point I was realizing that the ends of the D-pad are actually raised up just a little bit more than they are on the handheld. So that, and also the texture is a little bit different. It's more of a matte finish on the VS controller, whereas on the handheld itself, it's more of a smooth and glossy feel. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying out all the buttons and everything. Certainly the shoulder buttons, they feel really different than they do on the handheld. I don't know if it's going to be for better or for worse. They do feel a little bit thin. I mean, the L1 and R1 buttons are pretty thin. and maybe it's just because I'm used to the thicker ones on the PlayStation controller. The rear ones are thicker, but we'll see if it. I mean, very few games actually utilize those shoulder buttons. But the nice thing is that you can actually remap all the buttons on any controller in the Evercade VS. That was something I did kind of mess around with a little bit later. And here I'm just kind of showing that it does. I don't know if you can even see it in the video, but it does. I'm just, bringing up the point that, yeah, it is raised up a little bit more. It is noticeably different there. So, yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't even know what I was talking about at this point, but there's that. I guess that would be it for this part. All right, so here is the Evercade VS in the spot I had allotted for it. I actually built that little like a little table thing so it could slide underneath it. Now, I didn't make it tall enough so when you open the flap up, it would open up all the way. So I kind of pushed it back a little bit. You can see there how far open I can get it. I mean, that should be plenty to actually get the cartridges in and out. But I could pull that out if I really need to as well. I actually have it plugged into that change machine over there, which is actually just a USB hub I got from New Wave Toys pretty recently. It was on, I mean, I know that was on a Black Friday deal, but I actually bought it on a previous sale. And it, I was using that to charge the Evercade, the regular Evercade. I just kind of switched it over to the Evercade VS because, well, now I don't really need to use the Evercade hooked up to the TV or anything. So there we are, powering it on for the first time. You have to hold the button down for a little while, then it'll switch on. I kind of got a good angle. You can see the light in the front changing colors. And there we go. There's our new Evercade VS logo. The colors didn't really come through in the video, but you can see that the Evercade VS is lit up red. And then we're going to choose our language. I'm going to skip around the video a little bit. Then we can see our little welcome to the VS sign with their new mascot. I believe that must be their new mascot. Well, you can see my reflection in the television there. What's going on? Maybe I should have taken this part out, but there we go. It goes to a Wi-Fi setup, which I accidentally skipped because I got the buttons mixed up. But we're going to jump ahead after the Wi-Fi is set up and check for updates. That's the first thing I did there. And yes, there is a day one update available. And there it is, downloading the update. And I think that's as far as we're going to go in this video. So yeah, I mean, I did a little bit more, but I could save that for another video. I don't want to get into the, whoa, I almost dropped the camera there. I don't want to go into, too many details about the menus or anything. I put in a cartridge, tried it out, looked good, and then I went to sleep. Because by this point, it was like 1 a.m. So leave it at that. Thanks for watching. See you all next time. Bye.